Good afternoon. You are all at the free webinar, Improve the Usability of Your Website. And this webinar is being brought to you by QCamp. So today, my name is Michelle Sherritt. I am your usability expert as well as the VP and co-founder here at QCamp. And I am very excited to bring you this webinar this afternoon because it's really going to help you with your company website. There's no reason why your website should not be user-friendly. And if your website isn't user-friendly, that's a huge issue because then users are coming to your website, they're not having a good experience, and that reflects heavily on your company as well as selling your products and services. So some reasons why some of you are here today, the main reason should be is that you want to improve the overall usability of your current website. So here at QCamp, we have found that 3 out of 4 businesses normally have issues with usability. And we've conducted over 5,000 website reviews, and that's how we came up with this statistic. The key usability issues that we run into have to do with content, have to do with menu navigation and labeling, have to do with search functionality within the website. The user journey is just simply too long. And a user journey just basically is, let's say you have an e-commerce website. So how long or how many clicks does it take for a user once they get to your site to purchase an item? That whole process is a user journey. So we're finding that most of the time that user journey is way too long. Or we find that your website works in different browsers and doesn't work in others because there are coding errors. So we've run into all of these issues and many more in the 5,000, over 5,000 website reviews that we've done in the past. And like I said, 3 out of 4 businesses have these issues with usability. Many businesses don't even know it. And the problem with having issues with usability within your website is that you could be losing clients, and most likely you are losing clients. So we want this webinar to be able to be a tool for you and your company and to help you increase the overall user experience within your website. So today we're going to hit on a few items. So our agenda today is we're going to talk about how accessible is the content on your website. We're going to talk about, do you have consistent branding throughout your entire website? Is your website responsive, and what does that mean? We're going to talk about, does your website have consistent and easy to use menu navigation? And then, are your navigation labels descriptive and grouped appropriately? Is it easy or even possible to search within your website? And lastly, does your content have clear calls to action? Embedded within these tips today and the answers to these questions will be some bonus tips to kind of set you on your way as far as making your website more user-friendly. There are many different areas of usability that we will not touch upon today, given the time frame that we have. But we will offer you guys a little bonus item at the very end of today's session to kind of help you and actually have a usability expert review your website for free. So stay tuned for that offer at the end of today's session. So at the beginning, I said we've conducted over 5,000 website reviews. And the top usability issues that we have found are listed here. We have found that websites simply are not appealing, or they have designs that are annoying to users. We found out that people's menu navigation is not intuitive and it doesn't make any type of logical sense. We have found out that websites that have slow load speeds, meaning how fast do the pages on your website load? If it takes too long, users leave. And so you're not getting those people as customers, the ones that get frustrated. And normally that's almost 100% of the users that come to your site. So load speed is very important. And lastly, consistency is one of those top usability issues that we find. And we're going to talk about each of these areas and what we mean in the next few slides. So the first item that we find when we do these website reviews is that a website is not visually appealing. And it doesn't grab the user's attention. So when I come to your homepage, when we first start the website review, I, as a usability expert, want to have my attention grabbed. I don't want things popping out at me. I don't want avatars talking to me. I don't want videos starting to play as soon as I come to your homepage. However, I do want your homepage to attract my attention. And that can all be done through the colors that you use, the imagery that you use, how you display content, how you display images, how you display videos, all of that. You're creating a first impression with someone online whom you've never met before. You may not meet if they don't like your website, but it's a first impression. And that's how you're building your relationships online. Now, the best thing for us as usability experts is when we review a website, if your homepage creates emotions within us, that really grabs us and sucks us into your website. And PayPal does a great job of doing this. And that's why I put this example up. It shows someone on their iPad in their kitchen, just leisurely purchasing an item by using PayPal. And it just shows you how easy it is. You can just be sitting at your kitchen island. It grabs an emotion of calmness, ease of use. So that reflects on PayPal as a brand and on their product. And so that draws an emotion out of a usability expert or a user who would come to the website. So they do a really good job of doing that. Another good example that I don't have in the slides today, but we've actually been redesigning a couple of photography websites. And so one of the photography websites that we're doing is a photographer who takes pictures of newborn babies. And so as soon as you come to the homepage of the website, they have a beautiful photo of a newborn baby. And so that grabs at your heartstrings, it grabs at your emotions. If you're a parent, you're thinking about your children, you're thinking about how you want to capture those moments. And so again, emotions. So anything that can grab your user's attention. Color psychology plays a huge role in this. Bright colors are great. Vibrant colors are great. But when we're talking about color psychology, we're talking about the colors of your website making sense. Do the colors that you use within your website coincide, and are they consistent with your company logo and branding? So if your company logo is orange and blue, your website should match. You shouldn't be using black and green. It should all stay consistent within the website. And people are not aware that emotions are associated with certain colors. So we were just actually doing an evaluation of a website where they had harsh red color in their banner and in their logo. And they used it all over the website. And they didn't understand that when a user sees this bright, dark red, that it means stop, danger, don't move forward. And so they just weren't even thinking about that. And so since they've changed it, but they just didn't even associate that. Just like with green. Green means move, go forward, and you'll see a lot of call to action buttons on websites. Download now usually is green. It's an action button. We want you to move forward. We want you to get something. And yellow means happy. So different colors mean different things, and you can Google that. Just type in color psychology and you'll see a whole bunch of images that come up and tell you what each color means. Now, the other thing that we see as far as a top usability issue is having intuitive and logical navigation. So when we're talking about navigation, we're talking about your menu structure, your main menu, and your submenus. So as far as your main menu navigation goes, you don't want to have any more than 4 to 6 menu items listed in your main menu navigation. Think of your main menu navigation as the topsoil, as your yard, the grass in your yard. And then think of the submenus as you digging a hole. And so your submenus, the more you have, the deeper you're getting within the website. You want to have between 3 to 4 submenu items. Okay? If you have more than that, you're digging a deep, deep hole, and that information is going to get lost within your website. So this is an example of bad usability here. This is a website that we just reviewed, and this is the items in white are their main menu navigation. And then obviously the other pages are their submenus. So under respiratory, they have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 subpages. So that's way too many. So information is going to get lost. You want to make sure that you don't give your users too many options. So for your main menu navigation, having between 4 to 6 menu items is perfect. If you give them any more, you're giving your users way too many options. And usually you can look at the content of those extra pages, and pages can be combined and turned into one page, or they can be placed somewhere else. And your submenus, you don't want to have too many because, again, information is going to get lost. And you're giving users too much room to get lost within your website. So you want to limit that. You want to keep the menu navigation very simple. And that kind of leads us into logical labeling of your web pages. Now here at QCamp, when we redesign a website or when we review a website, we will also look at your content, which we'll talk about later on in today's session. We look at the content of every page of your site. And more often than not, we find that companies are trying to make their website look huge, meaning having a lot of pages, and they think that that will gain trust online or show that they're a huge company or whatever they're trying to do. And they're just repeating themselves within the content. So they have these multiple pages that could be combined into one page. What they don't understand is that the simpler their website is, the less pages that they have, the more straightforward their content is written and makes sense to users, their conversion rates are going to be higher. They're going to gain more customers. They're going to gain a following. And so when we look at the labeling of the pages within a site, we have to read the content and say, okay, well, this is the About Us page. So we put About Us. That would be the labeling. But you see sometimes that people don't keep the labeling short and to the point. They have a long label with 4 words in it, and you shouldn't have any more than 2. It should just be short and sweet. And you want to have what users are used to. So About Us, products, services, shop, blog, and contact us are the normal suspects within labeling for your website. So short and to the point. It's clear and distinct. We know exactly what's going to happen when we go to the About Us page. We're going to learn about the company. We click on shop. We're going to shop. We click on the blog. We're being taken to the blog. Very easy. So it's easy to find typical information that users are used to seeing. So I just put some examples in here. Here's our QCamp menu navigation. QCamp, we do not have any submenus on our website. For one, our website is a one-page design, so we don't have subpages. But our menu navigation is very simple and to the point. About, services, work, blog, contact. And work, you're going to see work examples. Services, you're going to learn about our services. About, you're going to learn about us. So very simple and straightforward. Now, HelloFresh is another example that I put up. They are a past client of ours that we help them with their website review. So when we did the website review, we looked at their labeling. And we saw that they had our boxes, how it works, our recipes, gift cards, Jamie Oliver, and the blog. And so we're looking at the labeling and we're like, this just doesn't make any sense. This needs to be fixed. And so in our website review, we've talked to them about that, and they're in the process of fixing this. But that's just an example of, okay, our boxes, how it works. That can be combined into one page. Our recipes, Jamie Oliver, can all be put into one page. So there's ways to combine pages. There's ways to eliminate things. There's ways to make clear, distinct labeling. So instead of our boxes or how it works, they could have how it works. That would work because the word it is small. But maybe say something like our boxes. And that's it. Our recipes, just say recipes. So just keeping it short and sweet and to the point. Some more confusing labeling. We are located in Naperville, Illinois. So Naperville, the township came to us to take a look at their website and to take a look at the menu navigation because they redid their website and they wanted a free review. And so as you can see here, they have their main menu navigation. They have home, media gallery, press room, etc. And then on the on the left, they have another menu. And then on the right, they have another menu. And so it's just really confusing to users. And to top all that off, the left menu navigation, they then have submenus. And so you can see just under About Naperville, you have all of these pages and then even more subpages. I didn't even put that on here. Education and youth, there's more subpages to that. So it's a government site for a township. So it's going to have a lot of pages, a lot of content, but there's a way to display it, and there's a way to label the pages that make sense. And some of these pages could be combined as well. So the next thing that's a top usability issue is loading speeds. Visitors are impatient. If they have to sit and watch your slideshow load, they're not going to. So anything that's in your slideshow, they're not even going to see. And most likely they're going to leave the website. So there's a free tool that's sponsored by HubSpot called marketing.grader.com. And you simply just put in the URL to the homepage of your website, put in your email address, and then they scan your site. And one of the things that they scan for is performance. So they'll give you a score of 30, and they'll tell you that your page sizes are too big or they're just right. Page requests to pop up pages, they'll give you a score. Page speeds, they'll talk about. And they talk about other things as well, but it kind of gives you an idea that, hey, my website's loading really slowly. Or you may think that your website's fine, but your slideshow is going too slow. Or whatever's happening is just really slow. So this is just a great free tool where you could check your website and see what the load speeds are, and then you can improve upon it and then check it again and see if what you did improved it. Now, consistency is our number one issue that we find when we do website reviews. Consistency within people's websites is horrible nowadays. I mean, we're seeing it more and more, and we don't understand why. Clients of ours are having pages within their site not look and feel like the homepage. So people are on the homepage and it's their first impression, and they see your main menu navigation and they see where things are located. Then they click on an internal page. And what we're finding is that sometimes they're being taken to a brand new website. or the page layout totally changed, where the main menu navigation isn't at the top anymore. Now it's on the left side. Or now the menu navigation totally vanished. Or now we're on a completely new website. And this totally disorients users. Users have to refamiliarize themselves with the page layout, where information's located, where the menu navigation is, and worse, we're seeing more and more of, is that the labeling of the menu navigation changes for internal pages. Why? I don't know. But consistency is very important because users get frustrated very easily. When you're looking at your company website, you have to think of yourself as someone who's coming to the site for the first time. So when you do a Google search and you pull up a site, you are making an impression very quickly once you get to a website and you decide, I'm going to stay on this site or I'm not. And so, there could be too much content on the homepage and you're just overwhelmed and you're like, oh my gosh. Or you went to a website to look for certain information and you've tried twice to find it and you can't, so you get frustrated and leave. But the worst thing is consistency. So you definitely want to make sure that your website is consistent because you are trying to make an impression online. You're not talking to anyone. Your website's doing the talking for you. And you're trying to gain trust online. And you can't do that if there's inconsistency. So stay consistent, please. So when we look at websites, we look at the homepage, we look at the color psychology, we look at the placement of items on the homepage. We give our feedback. And then we look at the content. And the first content that we always look at is on the homepage. So we want to make sure that there's a little blurb about your company. We want to know, what is this website about? What is this company about? So we want a clear essence of business. It should clearly indicate what your business is about. What is this website about? And it should correlate with your company branding. Then we go through the internal pages of your site and look at the content. We look for grammatical errors. We look to make sure that the content makes sense. But we also look to make sure that it's not too wordy. And by that, we mean that users aren't having to scroll through the pages of your website through the internal pages, because research has shown that users don't want to read content. They scroll, they skim. However, if you have internal pages with just content after content after content, users get overwhelmed. They're not reading it anyway, and they leave. So that makes your website boring, and it doesn't give them a good experience. It's definitely not a fun experience, and they leave. We also look at your content to make sure that there's powerful verbiage. It's just not a bunch of fluff. You're not repeating yourself. What you're writing on your website makes sense, and it has calls to action, very clear calls to action. And it encourages communication because, again, your website is your first impression to a potential client, to a potential customer, and you want to be able to communicate with them. So some sample calls to action, because we want those clear calls to action on our website. That can be done through words or it can be done through buttons. And so sign up now, free 14-day trial, download now. Very clear calls to action that make sense. You know exactly what's going to happen when you click on these buttons. Now, on today's agenda, we also want to talk about, is your website responsive? And so there are so many statistics out there of how many people are using mobile devices. So I'm not going to bore you with those details. Everyone knows that everyone is on an iPad or they're on a smartphone or whatever. So I'm not going to bore you with stats. You know, it's almost everybody. So why should your website be mobile ready? Well, your website should be mobile ready because everybody's on mobile devices. And if they were to bring up your website by doing a search, just say they're on the train going to work and they're on their iPhone and they do a search and your website comes up. you want to make sure that it's mobile ready, meaning that it displays correctly on a mobile device, because if it doesn't, they're not going to use their finger to gesture, to move over, to slide the pages over. They're just not going to do it. They're going to be like, wow, this stinks, and go to the next site. So what does mobile ready mean? Mobile ready means that your website displays correctly on a mobile device, that your menu navigation shows 3 little bars or 4 bars, whatever it is, and you can click on it and there's drop-down menu navigation, that your website fits on the screen of a mobile device. So again, using that free tool, marketing.grader.com through HubSpot, you can check to see if your website is responsive. So this is QCamp's website, and we built it to be responsive. So we got a score of 30 out of 30. It's mobile ready. You can see it is 4 bars. So you can see the 4 bars. You click on it. You can see our menu navigation. Everything fits within a mobile device. And so that's great, because we're not going to lose clients who are on the go and come to our website. And in fact, we're going to gain more clients because they can view us on a mobile device. And so it's just good to have a mobile version of your website. So that doesn't mean that you need to design a website for your desktop and then you need to design a separate website for mobile. You can build responsive websites using responsive designs and just build one site. And that way it conforms to mobile devices. So there's no need to do that. So we talked about encouraging communication within your site. Remember, your website is the first impression that occurs between your company and potential clients. So you're trying to build trust online. And you can do this a number of ways, but especially in the footer of your website, you want to have all of your connections for social media, because that's a way for someone to contact you. In the footer, you also want to have your contact information. You want to make sure that your phone number is there, your email address, just a way for them, once they go into an internal page and they scroll down or get to the end of a page, they don't have to scroll all the way to the top of the page to click a Contact Us button. You want to make sure that you have a Contact Us page as well. But you also, again, in the footer, it's very important to have contact information because you want to encourage communication. Sites that don't communicate communication, don't have their social media outlets linked to their website, guess what, guys? They're not gaining trust. It's like you don't want to be bothered. And so you won't be bothered. You won't be gaining clients through your website. Now, an added bonus today is I kind of wanted to diagram out how you can increase website traffic, conversions, and trust through your website. So to gain website traffic, you can do this a number of ways. First, optimizing your website, making sure it's user-friendly, doing some of the tips that we talked about today, but also by creating blog posts and then posting those awesome posts on Facebook, on your other social media outlets, and then linking back to your website. That's a great way to increase website traffic. And here at QCamp, not only do we do web design, but we also do social media marketing. So we build those social media leads, and we do that by developing contests, by creating ads, by creating videos, and using trending topics on social media. So we do that for our clients, which is a great thing. So once we build a website or redesign a website, we then want to make sure that we get that website out there, that we increase that website traffic through your social media outlets. And lately, actually, we've been having a lot of clients where they come to us, they get the free review of their website, they implement the things that we talk about in the video, and then we go ahead and do a social media marketing campaign with them. So that's another way that we can do it as well. And landing page designs can also increase traffic and conversions to your site. You simply post those landing pages on your social media outlets, create ads, and then have people come to the website, to the landing pages, and have short forms to fill out, because then you can lead capture. And having good imagery on those landing pages will also suck people in as well. So this was just an added tip today to kind of show you how else you can gain trust online and how you can increase traffic to your website once it's optimized and user-friendly. So the free marketing analysis tool that I've been talking about throughout today's webinar, you can go to our website, and I'll give you the link in just a moment. What you do is to simply go to our website, fill out the form, and then we create a video for you. So one of our usability experts, and I do these videos as well, will create a video for you. They will review your website. They do an analysis of the overall user friendliness of your website. They look and they do research-driven analysis of your branding and marketing presence. They do an evaluation of your site navigation, structure, and ease of use. And they give you action items to improve your website's effectiveness. And we go over 20 different areas of usability in this video, from content to menu navigation, color psychology, calls to action, forms, menu navigation, everything. And we put that in this video for you, and it is absolutely free. If you have any questions, we will have one of our usability experts who did the video for you give you a phone call or email you and answer any questions that you might have. So it's a cool free tool. So if you'd like to get that video analysis, visit our website. And there's the link, or you can just go to our website. Our website's a one-page design, so you can just scroll down to the free video analysis form, just fill that out. I'm going to leave you with our phone number, our email address, and just let you know that we do website design and social media marketing. And if you want to follow our webinar schedule, you can use the hashtag QCampWebinars, and you can follow us. And I hope that today's tips helped you. You can implement some of them on your own website, take a look at your own website and say, yeah, you know, these colors just don't work. Or yeah, I'm writing a bunch of fluff for content on my website. This needs to get fixed. So if you have any questions or you'd like your website evaluated, let us know. You can also just shoot us an email at info@qcamp.com, and we will go ahead and do that free video analysis for you. So I want to thank everyone for attending today, and I look forward to seeing you in future webinars. Thanks so much. Have a good afternoon.